Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video with BradEdgar.com. My name is Brad, and today we're going over how to use Excel tables for source data on Excel pivot tables. The reason for this is we want to make sure that all you need to do when you add data to your source data is hit the refresh button instead of updating your data source every time. So we've created here an Excel table, and you can tell quickly because once I select one of the cells here, if we go look in the ribbon, you'll see table tools, and under design you'll see that we've already the table tools actually gives it away that we've set up a table. So I've named that table employees, and to start what we're going to do is create a pivot table. So if I hit summarize with pivot table, you'll notice that we're looking at table range employees, and if we were to add any field, columns, or row records, this would automatically update to be included in the source data of our pivot table as a result. When we do this, it just creates a pivot table cache, and then we need to refresh it every time we refresh the data of our source or the source data. I'm just going to hit OK here. As long as I'm highlighted and selected within one of the cells on this pivot table square, our pivot table list will show up over on the right hand side, so will our pivot table tools. If I select outside that area, you'll notice that none of those tools are now available, nor is the pivot table field list. So let's select back within there. We're going to change our pivot table name to salary by country, average, we'll say. I'll rename this tab and worksheet to salary by country, and all we'll do is drag that country name down to a rows section. That's going to give us our row labels. Next thing we're going to do, grab that salary, add it to that value section. We're going to hit the down arrow on that section. Quick note here, guys, the sum here is based off of, it's always going to default to sum as long as we have a record for each of the fields that we're creating. So as long as we have a value for all of the all of the row records that we have under the field salary, it's gonna default to sum. If I have one value that is set to blank, this would actually default to count. So just a heads up on that one. So if you select the down arrow here, we're gonna go to value field settings. We want to see the average salary by country. So in order to do that, when we hit that value field settings, you'll notice that we have average available to us. We're then going to go over to the number format. We want to see this in currency, and then we'll hit OK here on both of these, and you'll notice that this has been updated. So the next thing we want to do is we want to actually update and create another record on our source data table because we've got a new employee, for example. So we're going to do that, and we're also going to create a new field just to show that a new field, just by hitting refresh on this pivot table, will actually end up showing up in this pivot table field listing. So if I go to employees, we're going to add a new record. Let's just go to the last field and record, and then hit tab, and that's going to allow us to create a new record. We're going to go 50 here. We'll say Europe. We'll create a new country. We'll hit France there, and then we'll say Versailles Distribution Center. We have a male, his name's Guy Guillemette. We'll hit tab. You can use the Ctrl+D or type Ctrl+D, and that's going to allow you to copy the field directly above the cell that you're currently on. And that's just going to, in this case, copy the formula down. So if I hit Ctrl+D again, that'll copy the formula as well. I'm going to hit Ctrl+D here, it's going to copy manager. Same with that job hierarchy. And then for the job name though, we'll do national sales manager. And this person is within the sales department. And we'll say they make $205,000 a year. Next thing I want to do, we're going to add a new field to here. We'll call it updated date. So just by doing this, this will add this to our table, and you'll see that the area of our table is expanded over to column O. I'm going to say equals ran between here, and we'll say today minus 2000 days and today. So that's just saying we're going to show and create random dates from ranging from 2000 days before today and today. So as soon as I hit enter, that's going to automatically update because we are in a table mode here. I'm going to select the O column. I want to change this over to a data type of short date. So we go to the home tab, we go to number, we go to the down arrow, and we're going to go to short date. So now we've added a new record to our table, and we've also added a new column or field to our table. So the cool thing is, instead of having to come over to our pivot table, select within the area, and then go over to our Analyze tab up here in the ribbon, and then select source and change that data source, it's automatically defaulting to employees. So it's expanded as our data set within our employees table has expanded. So we don't need to do anything there. Now if we go back over to the Analyze tab, simply hit the refresh down arrow and hit refresh here. It automatically added our record, and you'll notice that the new field has been added to our pivot table. So that was about all I wanted to show you guys today. So I'm glad you guys came and showed your faces, or didn't show your faces but listened. I appreciate you guys coming, and if you have any comments, please feel free to leave those in the comment section on YouTube or on my website. We'll see you next time.